Hi, and welcome to this week's Wu Wei Wisdom Life Lessons teaching. It's great to be back with you all. This week, we are talking all about how to overcome money blocks and money fears so you can start living the life you always wanted. Now, David works every week with clients all over the world on their money mindset issues, helping them break through the limiting money beliefs they have. And in this week's teaching, David will be sharing his insights and tips to help you do the same. Okay, David, so what are the typical money blocks or limiting beliefs your clients have around money?
Well, you're correct, Alex. This is a subject that comes up a lot when I'm working with clients. And the number one takeaway I'd like you to think about on this issue is change your thinking around money as a commodity. Think about it more as an energy, the energy of money, how money enters into your life and how money leaves your life. And is that flow uncluttered? Is it unblocked? And you'll normally find then is when you make that simple change, rather than thinking of pounds, shillings, and pence, or dollars, or euros, or whatever your currency is, stop thinking about it as currency and think about it as energy. How do you attract that energy into your life? And how does that energy leave your life?
So, are you saying that if we don't have limiting beliefs around money, which obviously we can talk about in more detail, that money or the energy of money, of abundance, I guess, will naturally flow to us and from us?
Well, once you understand the core of how you're dealing with the energy of money, then you'll realign your thinking and your beliefs, which then will attract, if you like that word, I like that word, the law of attraction. It will attract money into your life, or you'll hold on to it, or you won't let go of it so easily. So if you focus your thinking on the energy, then our model works into this very easily, because this is a mindset, as you said in the introduction. When I work with clients from all over the world, this is a mindset issue. You either believe you do not deserve it, you either believe you have to work really hard for it, it's something that's difficult, it's something that's in scarcity, or you'll believe something like you don't deserve to build up deposits of it, or you have to give it away to get people to like you, you have to pass through, or you're on the carousel of despair. So all the things we talk about in all of the other videos really apply very strongly to the idea of money, bringing it in, letting it go, how you distribute it, whether you deserve it, whether you're worth it. And the majority of this goes back to inner child work, is how you were brought up, what was in your environment around the concept of money. How did your parents deal with money? How did they teach you about money? How did they teach you on simple things, on giving you pocket money or how you earn money? What's your experiences about money? Because this formulates your belief system. And as you know, in our model, your belief system create your energetics, your emotions around money. And for many of my clients, it's the emotion of money. It's not the commodity of money, it's the emotion of money. And so they create a life which reflects their emotions, and the money that they attract or don't attract kind of confirms that.
What do you mean, the emotion around money, David?
Well, I can tell you a lot of my clients will say something that like they can't, because if they think that they're a victim, if they think, pooh me, if they think the world's against me or people are against me or my career is against me, I'll never make a good career, I'll never be successful, I'll never reach the heights, I'm always comparing myself with someone else. You put a invisible barrier on finding a good career. I can tell you the number of times that clients will say to me, It's not worth me going for that job. I could never push myself. How about if I failed? How about if I didn't get the job? How about I couldn't change careers? And so they're always restricting themselves.
So are you saying that if we have limiting beliefs about ourselves and or about what money is, so I don't deserve money, I don't deserve to be successful, it's going to be taken away from me, money is a bad thing, people won't like me. So all those sorts of limiting beliefs that you touched upon, that they are beliefs and thoughts we have, but those beliefs and thoughts create a red light emotions within us. So then you're saying that because of the red light emotions plus the beliefs, so negative, we then avoid. We avoid life. We avoid opportunities to create money or to allow money to come to us. We shut ourselves away.
That's what I'm saying, Alex. I'm saying that most people will work on the surface level of money and finances and bank accounts and what they have and they haven't got. And what I'm saying, in all of our models, the Wu Wei model, do the golden thread, go much deeper. Because if you think about it, money is about value, it's about worth, isn't it? Your worth. How much are you worth? How much is in your bank account? How much is your housework, your car worth? How much is your career worth? How much salary you're going to go for? For instance, a lot of my clients will be, frankly, create an emotional feeling of embarrassment. They'll say, I'm embarrassed to ask for a rise. Imagine that. I know I'm doing the good job. I know that I deserve more money, but I'm embarrassed to go in and ask my boss or the owner to pay me what I'm worth. So you see, if you just scrape under the surface of this dollar sign or this pound sign, you'll see that there's the emotion. So ask yourself this. If your value of yourself is really low, if you do not think you have self-worth, see, we talk about this on all the videos. If you are looking for other people to give you value, then this strongly affects your actual income. Because what you're doing, you're saying, I haven't got enough money. I need more money. I need more salary. I need more income. But actually inside of you, there's a little voice saying, well, you're not worth it. You have no value. You're not good enough. You're a victim. They should know and they should give you this money. You shouldn't have to ask for it because you've got this internal struggle. And so you see how the idea of money really relates to your emotions, what you think about yourself. If you have that inner alignment, that inner flow, if you're in Wu Wei, in your flow, going in and asking for a rise or being paid what you deserve would create no emotions whatsoever. It is just a transaction. I've done this, I deserve that. Now, if you experience that pull against it inside of you, then it's not about money. It's about your beliefs.
But as you say, the two are intrinsically linked.
Absolutely.
And I mean, this really, again, touches on all the law of attraction stuff we've done. And we've done several teachings on the energetics of the law of attraction and how it's relevant to your life. And I will put a link to those teachings in the show notes. But essentially what you're saying there is we can have the desire, a really, really strong desire and goal to have more wealth, have more abundance, have more money, have more success. But that the energy of that desire is trumped by the energy of self-doubt, by lack of worth. So we can make as many kind of business plans or financial goals or affirmations about money and worth and success. But if deep down we are vibrating with the energy of self-doubt, lack of value, not being good enough, not deserving, that energetic vibration is way, way, way more powerful. And that is what the kind of universe, the energy of the universe harmonizes with. It doesn't harmonize with the wishful thinking of our goals.
And this is the teaching, really, Alex. And this teaching about money is so much aligned to the law of attraction teaching. And you've explained it really well. You can have as much aspiration, wishful thinking. Wouldn't it be nice if I had a great job? Wouldn't it be nice if I was earning 30,000 more a year? Wouldn't it be nice if we had a bigger car? Wouldn't it be nice? And then you have this wishful thinking that I call it in my model, this aspiration. You'll dream about it. You may do a kind of a mood board. You may pick up pictures and say, wouldn't it be nice if we lived in this part of the world? Wouldn't it be nice if I lost some weight? Wouldn't it be nice if I dressed this way? And these are all aspirations. And then inside of you, the affirmation, what you're affirming. So let me be clear. There's a big difference, as we talk about in the law of attraction teaching, between an aspiration and an affirmation, what you're affirming. Then if you're affirming down deep in your belief system, I have no value, I'm not worth it, I have to look to other people to give me affirmations, to give me worth, to give me value, to give me the reassurance, to clear my self-doubt. See, so you have on this side all these wonderful aspirations, but on this side, you have these very negative affirmance. You're affirming this self-doubt. You're affirming you're not good enough, the 3 lies. Remember them? I'm not good enough. That goes right against your aspiration. I can't cope. Go right against your aspiration. I'm not lovable. I'm not worthy. I have no value. Is in complete opposition to your aspiration. So inside of you, mentally and emotionally, you've set up a tug of war. One side is the aspiration, one side is the affirming, pulling you down. Now the energy that you're transmitting into the universe is basically confused, pressure, torture, fighting, conflict, struggle. Thank you, Alex. Hardship. You wake up tired, drained. You go to work with this inner struggle and conflict inside of you. Then ask yourself, truly, as you sit here and watch me, what energy do you think that you're attracting into your life? You're attracting the same: confusion, struggle, hardship, unsure, swinging from one extreme to the other extreme. We call it the carousel of despair, going one side to the other, going round and around and around. Your emotions are never sure. You have one little kind of, the boss says, well done, and oh, that's good, perhaps he'll give me a rise. And then he'll look at you a bit scornfully and, oh, I'm deflated again. And you're on the carousel going round and around and around. And that is the energy that you're kind of mirroring into the universe. And this is what I say. Money is just a commodity. It's the energy that's the real important thing. And can I just say one more thing before you ask me the question? This will normally relate back, not always, but normally relate back into your childhood. So look at the energy about your worth, not about money so much, but about your worth, about your value, about what you deserve, about what it is. Because another side of this emotional pendulum can be entitlement. So, well, I'm entitled to it. Well, I should have it. But that also swings you out of balance. It swings you out of that Wu Wei. And that's what you've got to get right. And then money or anything else would just naturally follow.
I understand the energy we're vibrating if we believe we don't deserve, we're not good enough, the scarcity. What energy would we be transmitting if we believe we were entitled to success, entitled to wealth, entitled to money?
So it's on the other side of the pendulum, and I have clients that have this, and they will say, "Well, it's just not fair. It's not just. My boss, for instance, doesn't recognize the work that I do." And then I say to him, "Well, have you demonstrated the work that you do?" And they say, "No, I shouldn't have to demonstrate it.
Yeah.
They should be able to.
So
They should acknowledge it.
So it's a block. They're limiting themselves.
They're limited.
Still.
They should come to me. They should say, "Oh my goodness, haven't you done great work? Here's a £10,000 rise." It's very rare a boss is going to do that. You have to do a presentation to him. And they say, "Well, I'm not going to do that." They should recognize it. But it's the same limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs, because money, finances, and energy will limit your energy. It's as night follows day. And this is what I try when I work with my clients. Within a few moments, we're not talking about money at all. We're talking about their internal beliefs, the structure of their beliefs, where they got their beliefs from. And you will see time and time again that they are their own worst enemy. They limit themselves, the way they view themselves, the way they view their career, the way they see things going forward. So they'll say things. Just yesterday, speaking to a client, really unhappy about their job, really unhappy about their career, really unhappy about being recognized, was their word. "I am not recognized." And then I say, "Well, okay, well, let's look at your qualifications. Let's look at what you can do. Let's look at what you can achieve. And let's think now about looking elsewhere." Oh my God, if you'd have seen their eyes, they were horrified. And then they start, "Well, better the devil you know. Well, I'm used to this place. Well, I've been there for 5 years. I'm kind of comfortable there." You see that they don't want to make the change. They're limiting themselves, yet they want everybody else to change.
Yeah.
They want all the outside world to change. They want their job to change, their boss to change, their position to change, but they don't want to change. And that is the limiting belief that's stopping you. And that's where the work has to take place within you. Now, I say, thank goodness. I think that's a kind of a wonderful thing, because you can make those changes. Now the question is, why do you not want to change? And that's the difference between the affirmation of what's going on inside of you and the aspiration of what you would like it to be. And that's why it's much better to work on the affirmation, affirming what you actually believe. And when you do the golden thread, you'll see those beliefs are very negative, very much around better the devil you know. What do I deserve? I deserve more. I don't deserve this. I'm more worried about what they think about me. What happens if they criticize me? What happens if they judge me? What happens if they compare me? So let me stay in my little bubble here and just create negative feelings and just stay here, where actually, perversely, it's a terrible thing to say, but it's comfortable. I can moan, I can groan, I can blame other people, I can be sorry for myself. And the way I live kind of perversely confirms.
And then that becomes your story.
That becomes
and then
your
you get
story.
very wedded to the story.
That's right. And it's what you call confirmation
bias.
So if you believe you're worthless, think about it.
Yeah.
If you truly believe you're worthless, how can you walk into your employer and try and convince him that you're that you're worthy? Yeah. It goes against what you're saying inside.
Before we dig down, David, to the kind of, I guess, the childhood origin of these, the inner child stuff, the deeper work, and also you referenced the golden thread. And for new listeners, the golden thread is the golden thread process, which is the model of self-inquiry that David uses with all his clients to move from the surface level emotions through the self-talk down to the deeper core beliefs that we'll talk about, the childhood beliefs, really getting to the root of the problem.
Yeah.
But just one thing I wanted to ask you. it's all well and good saying, well, we need to look at our beliefs, and if you believe you deserve, then the money will come to you. And I understand the point you're making, that if we have negative emotions, red light emotions, or fears around money, then that's going to create problems for us. But what if our starting position is we are in real financial hardship? We genuinely wake up every morning and we have real cause for concern as to where the next amount of money is going to come from, how we're going to pay our bills. It's an issue which is real, which is naturally and quite rightly weighing heavy in our mind. How is it possible to step away from what would be natural and appropriate, I'll say the word, anxiety, fears around money concerns, when it, for a lot of people, they are real issues in the forefront of their mind? Because you said it's important to not have any negativity around money, but what if it's almost like it seems like it's unavoidable because of our circumstances?
Well, I think this is when you have to do the work the most urgently, because you've allowed it to get to this state. So the same principle applies. If you wake up every morning and you are creating anxiety, stress about money, about your position, about paying bills, about paying the mortgage, about doing all of those things, addressing this problem from an emotional state will just confuse it for you. What you have to do, and I understand it's extremely difficult, but if it's according to how bad your state is, you have to be able to separate the emotion from where you are now. So if you're really deep in the mire, there are many people that can help you. I would ask you, in the UK, we have Citizens Advice. I'm sure wherever you are in the world, there are money people that can advise you. Now, a lot of my clients would say that they can't go to those places. And I ask why, and they say embarrassment. You see what they do? They go back to the emotion. So I always say in the videos, and I think it's worth repeating, and even about the subject that doesn't sound emotional, but believe me, money is an extremely emotional issue. You are the creator of your emotions. You are not the victim of it. So if you're in a situation that Alex describing, deep in the mire, right up to your nose in quicksand, you've got to separate yourself from the emotion, and you've got to get real with this situation. If the bailiffs are coming round and knocking your door, you've got to go now and search and get that help that you need. But, and you know I hate the word but, you also have to understand how you got into this situation. You have to understand that. That is nothing to do with emotions. That's to do with your beliefs, the root, the core. Because if you do not go now and swallow your pride and go and get help to sort out the immediate problem, but that's the first step. The second step is, how did I get into this position? Why did I make those decisions? And I will guarantee you, every client that I've ever worked with, they are emotionally driven. And I want you to be driven by your intellect, by your logic, by your reasoning, and understand and learn the lessons, because most of it will have come from your childhood.
So even if we have encountered really difficult situations and circumstances in our life which are out of our control, which have really challenged us financially in terms of where we're at in our life, you're saying that if we're making choices, even in the face of really difficult circumstances, we still have choices. And if what you're saying is we need to be careful not to make those choices based on emotions, because that's when we can start to exacerbate problems.
That's exactly what I'm saying. If you're in the kind of the mire that you're talking about, the worst case scenario, stop making emotions, stop making decisions based on your emotions, on being scared, on being frightened. This is time now that you can make the change. Sometimes in the worst situation, it gives you the biggest opportunity to make the change. There is help out there. Go and find it. Swallow what little bit of pride you got and ask for help. But don't just stop there and don't pass it over to somebody else. Now say, I have a role to play in this. Let me now understand why I made those decisions, because I will get through this. You will get through it. I've been with clients who've been through bankruptcy and everything, and you will get through it, but make sure you do not go through it again. And that's why I want you to not think of money as dollars and pounds, but to think about it as an energy. How do I have a healthy energy flowing into and out of my life? How I am part of that energy flow that I call chi energy. And when you change the way you view money, then the money will change. It is as simple as that. But if you base your money decisions on emotions, then you'll always be chasing the dragon. You'll always be chasing the emotion. There will never be enough money for you, or money will always be negative for you. And you have to make that fundamental change.
So to welcome this energy of money into our life, the message you've said here is really, it's about our beliefs around money, our beliefs around ourselves and our worth.
Our value and our worth.
And that's almost like that becomes then the conduit or the block to allow or not allow the energy of money into our life.
Exactly.
So you mentioned childhood. Is it the case that the lack of self-worth, lack of self-value, thinking we don't deserve, are these beliefs that we have copied of our parents, or we've somehow got them somewhere in childhood? Where did they come from?
They normally come from our childhood. They normally come from the ages around 6 or 9. Not always. I can't be precise for everyone watching this video. But look at the environment that you were brought up in. Look how they dealt with finances, money. Were they always in scarcity? Were they always scraping around? Were people coming and knocking the door and asking for money? Did you have an emotion? Did your mom show you emotion? Don't answer the door. Don't answer the door. Somebody, and this will absolutely kind of program your belief system about money. But other than that, it can be about how you were treated. So if you were treated of having no value, no worth, if somebody was always criticizing you, somebody was always comparing you, being judgmental, again, you're faced with a position is, if you are doubting your worth, how can you have a positive view on worth? How can you have a positive view on the energy of worth and value if you're constantly looking for other people to give you value, to receive validation? This will affect the energy of money very strongly. The most strongly thing that I work with when I'm working with clients on their finances, we very rarely talk about the actual pounds and dollars. I don't want to look at their bank account. I don't want to look at their investments. I want to look on how they view themselves and their worth now and going forward. Where did that come from in their past? How does that reflect now? And how do they reflect moving forward? Because we have to get that stream of energy flowing harmoniously into their lives.
So in order to really make a change in terms of money and abundance in our life, what you're saying is forget like the financial planning, forget the financial coaching. It's about digging deep, finding and clarifying the beliefs, the deep core beliefs we hold about ourselves, our value, our worth, whether we deserve or not, whether we expect stuff to come to us without putting in effort. So clarifying those beliefs and then doing work to change them, to make them more authentic, more realistic, more aligned with the kind of flow of the universe.
So let me clarify what I'm saying, Alex, because that was a great question, because that's really what a client would say to me. Well, you're telling me to forget financial planning. And I'm saying, no, I'm not telling you to forget financial planning. What I am saying is start at the beginning. Your financial planning will go right out the window if you believe that you do not deserve to be successful. If you have self-doubt, if you have a low value of yourself, if you believe something, you can financial plan until you're blue in the face, because all you're doing is internally creating an internal struggle. Because you can financially plan, you can go to the best planner, you can stick to your budget, but inside of you, you will have this internal emotional pull. So what I'm saying, the first step, the most important step, the core step, the roots of the situation is get the energy of finance, money flowing into your life. And if you have any resistance about that, then you've got to do that work first. That's the first step. The second step now is the financial planning, the investment strategy. Where do you place your money? Your career structure. Who do you work for? How do you work? Do you work for yourself? This is now, it's almost like, I often think when I'm doing this work, I don't know whether it works for you, it's a domino effect. You've got to start with the first domino, your self-belief, your self-worth, your self-value, then the second domino, then the third domino, then the fourth domino, because that then will guide you what career you go to. Do you change career? Do you invest in getting more qualifications? Do you go self-employed? Do you go and get some help with your financial debt? Can you walk into that financial debt institute with your head held high, understanding where it went wrong and just needing some help to get out of this immediate problem? And so it starts, the first domino, the root, the foundation, whatever you want to call it, will always start with what you believe about yourself and the emotion that that creates. Get that right, and then your track will unfold, because now the law of attraction will be aligned and you will be in your Wu Wei. And this is the life lesson in this teaching about money. Money is an energy. You are an energy. Get that deep alignment correct. Get it in balance, that I call Wu Wei. So you're in your flow, and then the decisions will become almost straightforward and easy, and one will follow the other as night follows day, as the energy of nature follows, so you will follow, and then you will attract the energy that we call money into your life to the level that you want it.
And I like that kind of two-step approach, that you really can't have just the financial planning, the kind of high level stuff, without doing the deeper work. But the deeper work is the critical thing we're talking about here. Doing the deeper work on your core beliefs, on how you value yourself, how you essentially, I know you have many very successful clients, but they are still putting an artificial cap on themselves because of how they perceive themselves within their industry, or how they perceive their childhood, and it's limiting them. So even successful people are artificially throttling themselves, throttling their success, throttling their abundance, because deep down there is that niggling self-doubt. They don't deserve, they don't fit in, they don't deserve to be at the top of their game.
Well, I think it's a very interesting subject. If you look at so many successful people that have gone through boom and bust, boom and bust, boom and bust. So they've been successful and failed many times in their lives, and because they haven't got the core basic right. And that's in our teaching. When you experience that inner struggle that you would give a name to, anxiety, as Alex says, stress, depression, that to me is what I call a red light feeling. And that's telling you that you have that inner struggle. You've got to resolve that inner struggle, because until you resolve that inner struggle, you can learn as many techniques, as many aspirations, as many wishful thinking as you want, but they won't be grounded and rooted, because the first domino isn't correct. You've got to do that first domino right. And that goes down to what you believe. Is it the truth? And if you're looking external for value, for worth, for approval, if you're looking outside of yourself, then you're never going to attract that money in. What you're trying to do is not to attract energy. You're trying to attract other people to approve of you, to validate you, to tell you that you're worth. And quite simply, it's never enough. It's like an addiction. You're always looking for more. So if somebody does come to you and says, you're fantastic, you're really great, we're so proud. Has this ever happened to you? You do a job at work and the boss goes, wow, fantastic. What a great piece of work. And in that moment, you feel great. You walk back to your desk or you walk back to your office or you go home at the night and think, did you really mean that? Oh my goodness, that means the next one I've got to do even better. I can't let him go now. I'm really worried about the next project because I might fail. You see, it's like an addiction. And so you're chasing the dragon. You're on the carousel. You're going round and around and around and you can never stop. And that's why you've got to draw back and go back to the root. Look at all our other videos. If this is an issue for you, the law of attraction teaching would really help you to understand this law of attraction, that it starts with you. You are part of the universe. You have to align with the flow of energy, not fight against it and not try to get somebody else to give it to you.
Exactly. And because there's the codependency.
There's the codependency.
Rather than self-responsibility, which is really what this teaching is all about.
Absolutely.
Thank you, David. Well, as I say, I will put a link to the law of attraction teachings in our show notes and also some useful teachings on self-worth and self-value and finding those core beliefs. If you have enjoyed this teaching, please do let us know and perhaps share it with someone else who you think may also benefit. As I mentioned at the beginning, David works every week with clients all over the world by Zoom video call on exactly these sorts of issues. If you'd like to learn more about David's consultations, I will also put a link in the show notes to those as well. And finally, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We produce new teachings every week and we would love to share your journey with you. Bye-bye.